Hi Electra, I got your email about needing some help with a division in algebra. So this is what you would have had a look at today in class, the start of it, and you should have copied that down in your book. So we can write any division as a fraction. So 2a divided by 5b is exactly the same as writing it as 2a over 5b, because that over line means divide by. Okay, it's just written a different way. It's exactly the same thing. Okay. The steps we follow, our rule is that we cancel our numbers first, then our letters. So this is the question we were given as our first example. So let's try and do this one together. So I'm just going to take a little snippet of that with some space. And so this is what we've got. So 12xy divided by 4x. Let's put it down a little bit so you can see how to write it. So it says we should write that as 12xy divided by 4x, okay, equals, well, the rule says cancel the numbers first. All right, so how many times does 4 go into 4? Once. How many times does 4 go into 12? 3. Okay, that's step 1 done. The next step, it says then do the letters. So this is called cancelling. If there's a letter that's in the top and the bottom, they cancel each other out. So there's 1x there and there's 1x there. They're both gone. Now what are we left with? Well, we're left with the 3 in the top and the y and the 1 on the bottom. So we'd write that as our top line, 3y divided by 1. Now anything divided by 1 is itself. So the answer, 3y. Okay, feel free to pause that and copy it down into your book. And I'm going to go on to the next one. So the next one, let's just skip ahead a little. Let's go back a little. Let's grab that one. All right. Let's do the same thing. So 8a squared divided by 4a. All right. This might trip us up, but we know that a squared is the same as saying a times a. All right, so what he's really got here is equals 8 times a divided by 4a. So our first rule, let's do our numbers. 4 goes into these both equally. So how many times does 4 go into itself? Once. How many times does 4 go into 8? Twice. Okay, now the letters. We've got an A in the top and A in the bottom, so let's cancel them out. 1 for 1. What are we left with? We're left with a 2 and 1A, and we're left with a 1. Let's write that one down then. 2a over 1. And we said before, anything divided by 1 is itself. So that equals 2a. Let's see how we went. Okay, went good. Let's try this one. Let's grab a snippet of that. New. If we need it. Okay, don't let the brackets fool you. It's just trying to make it very clear as to what is divided by what. So equals minus 15 AB divided by minus 10 A C. That's an A, sorry, that looks very messy. Okay, now we know from what we've been doing in class, these tricks, or these rules, a positive divided by a positive gives us a positive, and we also know a negative divided by a negative will also give us a positive. The other two combinations, a positive divided by a negative, give us a negative, and vice versa. A negative divided by a positive gives us a negative. Now here we've got a negative divided by a negative, which is this one here, negative divided by negative, so it'll give us a positive. So we're going to cross these out. Bye-bye, bye-bye, don't need you anymore. Okay, now this is the first example they've used where the bottom number doesn't go evenly into the top number. So what we have to find is something called the highest common factor, the HCF. It's the highest number that goes into both 10 and 15. Now, a number might pop into your head straight away. If not, go through them. So does 1? No. Well, it does, but it's very low. 2, no, that doesn't go into 15 equally. 3 doesn't go into 10 equally. 4 doesn't go into either equally. 5 goes into 10. 5 goes into 15. It could be that. Just remember that number. Let's check. 6, nope, won't go into those equally. 7 doesn't go into them equally. 8, nope. 9, nope. 10 will go into 10, but it won't go into 15 equally. So that highest common number here was 5, okay? We're just remembering that. You don't have to put it in your working out. So, equals. How many times does 5 go into 10? Twice. How many times does 5 go into 15? 3. Okay, so that's the same as just crossing that out and writing a 2, and crossing that out and writing a 3. Okay, we've done our numbers, now we're doing our letters. We've got an A in the top and an A in the bottom. Cancel them out. Okay, we don't have a B in the bottom, we don't have a C in the top, so they have to stay. So what are we left with? Our 3 and our B and our 2 and our C. So we copy those down the bottom. There was a 3, here's the B, and there's the 2, and here's the C. Let's see how we went. There he goes, cross those out because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Numbers first, and he's decided his highest common factor was 5, and that 5 goes into 10 twice, and that 5 goes into 15 3 times. Okay, he's found 2 letters that are in the top and the bottom, or sorry, 1 letter that's in the top and the bottom, and he's cancelled them out. There we go, same as we got on the top, same as we got on the bottom. All right, let's have a look at this one. Let's grab a snippet, a new snippet. All right, let's grab this up just in case. So let's rewrite it. We've got equals negative 28 x y divided by 21 y squared. Now I'm purposely writing it like this time because sometimes these numbers will be huge, okay? So we're going to get used to just leaving them in index form. Better make that look like a 1. Okay. Now, remember, negative divided by a positive is going to give us a final answer that is a negative. Okay, let's go. Okay, 21 doesn't go equal to 28, so we have to find its highest common factor. Now, I'm pretty good at my times tables, and I know that 7 goes into both of these numbers equally. Okay, so I'm going to start with 7. So, numbers first. How many times does 7 go into 21? 3 times. How many times does 7 go into 28? 4 times. Now, I don't have an x in the bottom, so it has to stay. I have a y here, and I have a y times another y here. Now, if I cross one of them out from the top, I can only cross one of them out from the bottom, so I'm going to get rid of this one. Okay, now just remember that y squared is the same as writing y times y. So there's 2 of them. We're only getting rid of one of them, so it's leaving this one here. Okay, so what are we left over with? Well, a negative 4x over 3y. Negative 4x over 3y. Let's see how we went. Good so far? Good. So that's what we said, we'd end up with a negative. Okay, he's found his highest common factor is 7. So 7 goes into 21 3 times, 7 goes into 28 4 times. He knows he has to leave that x, and now he's finding his y's. Okay, he got rid of the top one, and he got rid of one of them in the bottom to leave one of them. Okay, negative 4x over 3y. We got it right. Now, this is the worksheet you would have been working on. Here we go. So let's have a go at this together. I might actually have to do this in a second video because YouTube only likes short videos apparently today. So stay tuned, I'll make another one for you very shortly.